follows presentation of Emery Uno. This You'll meet a lot of trailblazers in life. Some experienced, some young, some you may never know, and some you know like the last 40 years. But tonight, this is a different type of trailblazing path. Only one man can say they're in the 200 Club. He's been here not since the start, but since the marathon. His first ever match was against the Marathon Man in Dark Rain. That was all the way back in April 2023. T2. Fast forward 10 tournaments later, and a lot of fun. He's here. He's back. He's the Sandman. He's from the Golden State, but tonight, he's the Golden Man, with a lot of silver hardware in his career. And it's only fitting that he plays a player that is known for speed. Speed kills. You play the slowest player of all time, in terms of pace, and you get the 200 with the fastest player of all time, in D2 up to promoted to D1, something's got to give. But for hockey, he needs to find a way to get his Zamboni on ice to stop the freight train that is Enter Sandman. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Charles Sandfer versus Hockey. Massive matchup. Battle of the Seas. California, Canada, Golden State, A up north, maple syrup, whatever you want to say. We're back on the table. It's been 10 days. It's great to be back on the table. Gonna be a fun one tonight in the building. Charles Sandfer versus Hockey. But how did we get here today, and what a crazy day it began with? We started it off with a really damn good game against Peter Goldie. Talked the short, extremely good game. We were talking back and forth isolation, back and forth in terms of just ammo control, +4, saw it, great game. Congratulations to the gangster Peter Ronjak looking to return to form. Was not here for this game, but talked a little bit about just the game with Cody Smart. Great game with Clay Wolf closing out a power play when he was at 6 cards. Zach was at 2. Saw that. Similar to Toaster Night in round 1 in March. Clay gets the win. Much needed for him as he awaits a big match possibly coming up. I believe the 413, I forgot, but it'll be there in my head a little later. Good win for Nam to get back on track. He did admit, though, it was not his game of pure skill. Needed a little lady luck, but that's what sometimes you need to spark the fire, as he was our first of 3 6 seeds at 11 games today. We'll go to the second 6-11 tonight with the Jag region, and then we'll cap it off as Charles Sandfer makes his 250th career start all-time and 200 club in Game 4 with a guy that's been here since the start. How about Game 1? 100 starts for Myth. He's been here since the start. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We'll see if we can climb the mound that is ALP later tonight, Mr. Sharpie. How do we get here? Well, matchup preview. Charles Sandfer, a legend, 2-time medalist, 23rd is his best career finish in this exact tournament, and that was last year. Of course, he was not ranked after the first initial rankings. Hockey did receive some votes after a big win against DJ. Tough loss to Yepez. Of course, every single tournament is new to hockey in the Red +2 Battle of the Reds. He finished 7th all the way back at the airwave of April's last year as we continue to roll along. We go into the pod now, and it's a massive pod for Charles Sandfer. He knows what's at stake. If he gets the win, a possible rematch with Tapir and Stefan. We'll see, especially Tapir. Stefan looking to find something against Tapir as they played twice, but that was in D2, first time in D1. And of course, for hockey, he's trying to play spoiler tonight. Alan Leah now has been rescheduled. It was supposed to be tomorrow, I believe at 1. Now it's rescheduled for the opening game at Tuesday, 11:30 in the morning. And Captain and Gone, of course, the defending champion of this tournament 1 year ago, or a little less than a year ago, as that ended in May. But, of course, T2, the theme. He'll play Gon in the first ever MRE European battle. We've never had a D1 European battle. Ireland versus Latvia. Should be a good one. Gon coming off St. Pat's Day. Cap always fired up into his home in T2. Well, that's enough for me. Let's go into the scene. And joining me in the booth is none other than my main man, Jay Turner. JT, it's good to have you, my friend. Charles Sandfer, a guy you've played a billion times, right? Versus hockey. What are we setting up for tonight, my friend? What are we looking for? Where's some keys to this match?
Yeah, thank you for having me up here in the commentary booth with you here in this Automotive April. Stoked to be up here. I call him to witness this with all the fans here. But yeah, Sandfer, I mean, I if there's anyone who knows what Sandfer's playing style is all about, I mean, I obviously do. He'll definitely be determined to, put this one away quickly here against Hockey, who's come up with a bit of momentum here. But yeah, just it's all about both these players trying to get into their element. I mean, to have an early exit would be, detrimental here, and I'm sure, for Hockey and Sandford, I mean, that's definitely something that they don't want to, be subject to lately. But Sandford's got the higher seed on him over Hockey, so it'll be a tale of the higher seed trying to squash the lower one and move on quickly, or Hockey, the lower seed, trying to get the upset win over the higher seed of Sandford. So it'll be an interesting one.
JT, you don't know much about hockey, but you have played Sandford. What makes his game unique compared to the other legends in this class?
Sandford's playing style, I would say he's very cunning, and he can be pretty sly and very meticulous. I mean, I know his job in real life is a teacher, so he's got everything all planned out. I mean, most of the plans in this universe, I mean, most of them works, but sometimes they don't. But he's very precise and calculative to many of the moves he makes that I've come to know. So I'd say that's his one style that we'll look to see him do for us tonight.
Appreciate those thoughts, my friend. We'll go over to our two players. We're going to start off with Hockey. You'll type his response. Hockey, obviously excluding the showing up late part, right? We got to rib you a little bit. You were a little bit late into the arena with the Zamboni. Got to rib you a little bit. That's how we do it here in the program. Other than that, man, now that you got the shuckles out of the way, look, you're playing a guy that has a lot of history in terms of this league. He's probably the most experienced guy here, not just in terms of starts, but maybe in terms of life. He's seen probably more things than he wants to see as a teacher. Do you think you can combat Charles Sandford's cunning ability to be able to have a good feel for the game on ammo and multiple avenues? And how do you think your speed could get to Sandford and affect him tonight? Let's keep it simple for you as he goes for a bunch of accolades. Sandford's pretty simple, man. I want to know what goes through your head when you have these delayed gratification, but you were supposed to get number 20, right? Last tour, everyone with the odds, Charles Sandford, first guy, right? Then you get the incident with Camaro. Then you have this tonight a little. How do you recompartmentalize knowing it's a big game, 200 on the line, 250 in your career in game one right here all time? How do you live for these big moments but also compartmentalize some of the crap that's been happening lately to get back in the groove?
Well, I'll start off by giving you the matchup that was tricking your brain a little bit. Bowtie Lara winner faces Clay.
Thank you, buddy.
Second, honestly, I'd say find something to do that tries to get your mind off of it, away from the Uno, just because I could sit here, try and think about what I'm wanting to do for that whole 30 minutes that we're waiting, but then you're looking at probably just getting in your head a little bit too much, overthinking things. So, in a way, it's just kind of try and find something to make sure to get away from worrying about Uno for like that little bit while waiting, and just kind of relax, basically.
Right, and you've obviously played hockey in a little poker session. We'll call it a poker session. The old test session back day. Have you had enough of a read on maybe just the intangibles off this game on how to get a mental edge? Maybe not so much a playing edge, but a mental edge. Do you think you figured out a little bit of way to rub him a little bit the wrong way to get in his own head?
I'm not entirely sure on that, because as I've figured out, I mean, people like to easily save a little bit of stuff in the back tank just because They don't want to really show their best stuff in those games. What I did do is I did go back and look at least at the game 1 that he had against DJ, so that way I can kind of know a little bit about what I might be expecting. So there was the one thing at least I know what I can look for that he might try and do, which in a way actually is beneficial because it's something I...
All right, well, we'll wait for Hockey to respond here. We'll get it going. Here we go. Well, personally, I think even though he might be, I think that if I play strategically, pulling off good fast on him, I'm going to catch up on my speed, so I'm going to use what I have when I can use it. Okay. Definitely going to be a case of, can Hockey use the speed kills technique, JT, to get the edge on Charles Sandfer? That's going to be interesting. Charles Sandfer, methodical, cunning, Hockey, speed kills, a demon. We'll see what happens. Is it the demon on the brakes or smooth on that throttle like Charles Sandfer is? It's going to be a really good match in store. Of course, best of 7, your winning lottery numbers are 2-2-1-1. That's 2-2-1-1. Not put it in. Power play 1. Sanford's the higher seed, or even the lower seed, whatever you like to call it, whatever's in your best terminology. He's the better seed. And for now, those most famous words, Sandfer, this is your 32nd career series, my friend. Or excuse me, 30th career series, excuse me. Looking for number 20. This is your 250th game all time. We'll save the fireworks show for game 200 and game 4. I've called your games a lot, man. You know the old most famous words in Uno. It's fitting that it's Automotive April where gentlemen start your engines. What's it going to be for game 1? How many cars? Most famous words.
Let's go for 11.
All right, we'll go for that DH11 here. Now I'm going to put us in the driver's seat right here on the ref C11. It's in the tunes. It's in the bag. Here we go. Let's start it up. It's Sandfer. It's Hockey. And
whoa, check that out.
JT with a little bit of an interlude. I like it. All right, Jay. Wild start. How do you attack this player mindset? Go. 30 seconds. What would you do here in your case?
Ooh, well, I mean, you mentioned Hockey. I mean, he's gonna try and pull off these fast combos here. He wants to go off to more of an electric start here, but Sandfer, he's gonna want to control the pace. I mean, based on the history I've had with him, I mean, he wants to take things calmly and not get on the gas too fast or he might stall out. So
yeah, and that's Hockey where you go with the electric pace as we go from that JT5 into the Myth retro combo from Hockey. It's a double play. Here comes Sandfer, Mr. 250. He'll get 200 in the reg season a little bit later, typing it up. He'll go for the early switch in the background character. Jay, early aggressive switch right there. You can see Sandfer, and there's Hockey going to counter back with the trips 8. We go from retro, we go to background, we go to charm. You can see the aggression early from both players here, JT.
Yep, we did a triple color switch, and now we just go down 1 into a 7. These guys still not saving all their ammo for the right time and just playing it calm so far. But in these earlier rounds of the tournament, I mean, we only got best of 7 games, so it could be over in 4, could be over in 5, 6, or 7. So it may seem like a bit, but in reality, you got to get what you can while it's good.
Charles Sandfer making his 250th start, 136 and 113 all time, versus a guy that basically baptism by fire, 5-5, right? It just shows you 259 career starts combined, and Sandfer's got 99% of that, really. And then we go into Steven.
There we go. First time that we've seen yellow this match, switching off into the 6.
Yeah, I got to say here, JT, Hockey's not afraid. He's not afraid to take Sandfer to his limit early. It's early. If there's a trip 6, how about that? From Vapor into Steven and into Sandfer himself from Hockey.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's kind of summoning Charles with his own card there, but we got the triple switch off the 6. And, the aggression's definitely up, but we're going to keep it red as Charles plays Tapir's card.
Yep, in the red 4 now. A lot of lower ammo game right here in game 1. More number efficiency. Who can vibe and switch off? Only seen reverse and skips so far. Hockey with a red deuce from Zach. Of course, Zach lost earlier. Here's the KT Wild, the KT Classic card. But will it be a classic? No. No ISO.
No, he's just gonna stay calm right here.
I like it. I like it, Jay, from both.
Do these really blues.
Cool. Yep.
As Hockey has to draw right there.
Sandfer looking for a run to the finish potentially. But he'll go to that's a good old move right there. Zero sugar, play it safe. Now does he look for the potential finish? Is it split? Sandfer, did he save it well? He's got double wild into Cody Lamas.
Hockey has one more chance to answer. Can he do it?
Does Hockey have an answer in the back pocket? Sandfer goes for the pin. He pulls it, and it is an answer, and he keeps it alive.
Oh, excellent play right there by Hockey, and now we're tied once again.
Yeah, into a Gerard +2 and a bow tie. There's a great move from Hockey to keep the game alive. Sandfer just going to draw. Interesting. Maybe testing to see if Hockey's got nothing. Hockey's game over!
Look at that!
Wow!
Oh, my goodness.
We'll go over to Hockey first. I mean, Hockey, that was a little bit of a baptism by fire moment right there. Really wasn't getting much. Was that about just staying patient, working your reads, getting to that third color? And talk to me about that aggressive switching to fade off that yellow, right? Because Sandfer had the yellow. Talk to me about that fade off the red that ultimately allowed you to run the colors. Was that just the case? You were kind of setting Sandfer up with the +2 advantage? Let me know. It was a good read fade. Sandfer, I'll ask the first question, man. A little bit interesting on that wild, right? You drew. You could have played. Was that a theoretical fake wild, or did you want to bide your time on a possible draw city to get some more cards?
I didn't want to draw and then skip.
Oh, right. A little bit interesting, man. You were caught off a little bit by his switch over to red, because ultimately when you made the yellow, you think, okay, right? He don't have the yellow. So is that a case of you got maybe with your pants lurking down, or was it a case of that was just a good read because he had the +2 differential, and you just gotta chalk it up to say, hey, you had the wilds, you had the +2s. It happens.
Yeah, I don't think there's much I could have really done. I mean, even if I play the skip and draw, he still's got an extra +2 there, so a little bit of traumatic action there.
A little split ammo, I got you. Yeah, Jay, I mean, as we wait for Hockey's response right here, really well done by Hockey right there. You got to admit, to fade that red for one of the best in the game, that just shows, man, experience kills, but sometimes when you don't know in these big moments when you play spoiler, it allows you to play more freely. That's what we saw right there. Thoughts on that one?
Absolutely, yeah. Like, we all thought Hockey was on the ropes as Charles faded him on the blue a little bit, and then when Sandfer got into red and then into yellow, like, Hockey was thinking, boom, that's the golden ticket, and then he did that +2 double play to stall Sandfer, and then he drew. I mean, I kind of understand why Charles had to draw. I mean, he didn't want to leave the skip open, but then he had them other 2 +2s to seal it away, and yeah, here goes Hockey, as he says, well, I have both the +2 yellow and green, and I was forced to draw the yellow +2 on blue, which helped me win in the end, but the red, I was just praying he would change the color, so yeah, that's That was his answer. That's what he was hoping for.
There's the answer. Prayer's the answer for Hockey. He's up 1-0. Sandfer got the rebound. He'll have a chance in Game 2 at the free board. Sandfer, Game 2, my friend. Start 251, Game 198. What do we got here? Open board.
Well, I saved it the last time, didn't end up even using it, so we'll go ahead and get out of the way now. Why not? 6.
I knew it was coming. That's one of his patented moves. The old Sandfer, drop it down to 6. See if we can test that luck in either direction. We'll see what direction it goes. We know Hockey, a player to go lower or around there too. We'll start it off with the Camaro. We'll see him tomorrow at 5 o'clock now, as we had to reschedule. JT, this is it. This is a big move right here. To go low, you're testing luck. Let's see if Sandfer gets the roll of the dice working his way.
Yeah, it looks like he was able to successfully do it there. He's got a Yoshi reverse into a Stingray 5. Hockey responds with his own double.
Yep, nullifies it, and now we're back to 4-4. Here comes Sandfer looking for more. That rhymes, and it's a green 4 into cap. There's the tournament winner from last year. Hockey looks to roll into the green. He doubles up, 3-3. It's a sprint to the finish. Does Sandfer have a run? Sandfer loading up now, taking his time. And Jay, this is a big moment here for Sandfer. He's got to think this one through. It's only best of 7, like you said, but down 2-0 is different than 1-1.
Yeah, and both players were at 3 cards the last time, and oh, check that out. Great triple right there, but he had to draw on the skip, which is what he was afraid to do the previous game.
Yeah, double really into his draw, yep, and he's just looking for ISO, and that's going to be a really, really calculated move for Sam. Risky, bold, but he's playing, hey, not much ammo cards dealt with 12 cards, 96 left in the deck. You might as well take your percentage chances right there on nothing on the back end, and that's what he does. And welcome to Draw City, population dose. For now, a little heat check there, a little blink. We'll see if it's a little wink. We'll see if it's a full blink. Sandfer doesn't go. Yep. And we're drawing.
That probably could have been a top deck for hockey.
Yeah, 100%. This low amount of cards, you don't expect someone to save that aggressively. There's another top deck. It's double top deck now. There's Logan's 3, newest card in the deck. Sandfer draws. Here comes hockey, and he's going to go the aggressive route there, Jay. Switching.
Yeah, that's likely going to break Sandfer open to some more opportunities. As now we're going to run these yellows, but hockey's got a somewhat of a cushion here on this lead. See if he'll be able to keep it.
Well, this time from Sandfer, here comes hockey. Wanted the yellow earlier as he continued, but he's out now. This is where Sandfer could have pounced. He's got to pounce here. He will. Number of fish.
Yeah, just like how hockey was frozen on the blues in the previous game. Now it's the yellows that hockey might be frozen on now. But there's his switch. There's his risky move. We're going to see what he can do with green.
Jay, you like that move right there? Going aggressive to open up Pandora's box? Do you think it gives Sandfer a box, or do you think this is an aggressive play from hockey trying to stay that momentum on? He's playing quick.
Yeah, it looked to be a good move because he does have the advantage, but now Charles with a blue switch over into 1.
Hockey
we dabbled in the green for a little bit, but we'll see if hockey had any blues left in the tank.
Hadn't really seen blue. Here comes hockey loading it up. Let's see what he's got in the back end. That's a game over.
Yes, he did. He did have blues.
Wow, and nothing Sandfer could do right there. Sandfer, I have to. Man, you went for the break on blue. Did you have something similar in finishing?
The rest of my hand was blue.
Oh man.
It was blue 1, a blue 2 other numbers, and a skip. So.
Oh, you're feeling it too?
Yeah. Right now, hockey's feeling it, Jay.
Even then, like switching to blue, like had +4, you still was winning it, even if I didn't switch. So.
Yeah, not much you could do. We'll go over to hockey out before I'll come back to you, Sandfer. I mean, hockey, really good save right there. But do you think Lady Luck was on your side in Draw City? Do you think Draw City was an enabler there? And your thoughts on Sandfer leaving it open on the red skip? Did you bide your time there and let him leave it open, hope for some top decks, and then play the percentages with the lack of ammo with 12 cards being dished out? Ultimately that one wild card in the green was an enabler. Talk to me through how you were able to enable that on such a low read card. We know you're a player that goes 7-8 when need be. I mean, Jay, you're there, right, Jay?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What is your thoughts on this right now, man? This is shocking. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little shocking.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, especially now, hockey only has to win 2 more times before he puts the series away. I give Sandfer the props for trying something different, starting down with a 6, and again, it looked like he. I applaud Charles for making that late switch to blue, and originally, hockey had to draw on that, and then he was able to get the double, reverse into the +4. But yeah, hockey's just seems to be having all the answers, and that's twice now. We thought he was hanging on the edge of the cliff, and then bam, he comes back, and now he's up 2-0.
Yeah, right now as hockey continues to type out Charles Sandfer on the ropes, no matter what happens, he'll get that game 200 career start in Game 4, but he's trying to avoid something rarely done. Luck helped me out there. You want to read the rest of that quote? Go ahead, JT. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Yeah, of course. Hockey's response. Luck helped me out so much there. Yeah, just like Game 1. Yeah, he got lucky there, giving me that wild at the end. But the red I kept drawing on, it did help me due to giving him cards that he couldn't have used there, and then giving me cards that I could use to lower my amount of cards. Yeah, it seems that this Game 1, it was definitely more of a surprise, at least for me. Hockey being able to wrap right around and steal the lead and the win from Charles. But then the Game 2, honestly, hockey had more of the edge for the majority of this one. I did a few table checks, and I saw that hockey had the advantage, the lead more times than not over Charles. So yeah, it's good for him, to get a little bit of bot luck at the end, drawing up another wild. But I'd say this one was more earned for him.
One more earned, says JT. Interesting comment right there. I'm going to go back to Sandfer. Sandfer, you've been here before, right? You see this has not really been a game of ammo, right? You really haven't had much, and it's been a low-tier game on the cards, only 44 played, and you've drawn as many cards as you've played. How do you try to change fortune now? Maybe not so much on your home tier start, but how do you change fortune on aggression versus that more controlled pace that you're so good at? How do you change it to get back in the series?
I think for part of it, it's maybe try and think some things through a little bit better. Think about what he might be able to have. Clearly, it looks like I'm not going to be trying to count on getting +2s or +4s, which is not a great spot to be in. Especially when the opponent is getting them. But we're still getting some things. There's going to be ways of working around, and I kind of know what I'm going to be expecting, at least from his home start, at least for cards. So there's that at least going for me.
All right, we'll go over to game number 3 here. Big moment, Jay. Hockey's going to get the start. I'll give it to you to ask those most famous words with no 6 and 11. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Hockey 6 and 11 are off the table, but you got every other card open, and why don't we start with 7? We'll do the classic 7 for game number 3.
The classic 7, yes, sir.
Here we go. Red reverse to start, and Hockey now has dibs on the first card call.
Yeah, that's aggressive right there, Jay. Let's see if he becomes an aggressor. He won't this time. Hockey looking to go up 3-0 here. Power play in the back pocket. We know Sandfer one of the best at it, but he's on the ropes early.
An early draw by Hockey. After playing just one card in the Reds, I'm sure Charles has more that he can use against him.
Charles needs to find something. Sanford's got to find something here to get back in the game, and this could be the perfect little spark he needs. A little draw early, that's the spark. Keeping it low tier, right? Well, pretty much as low as you can go with the 7.
There's a Brad, too.
I was wrong, Jay, and we both were wrong. Well, no red there. He could be fading it, though. We'll see.
So Charles playing the Brad deuce, and now up into an 8. But you see Sandfer, he took his time a little bit, playing that, as he's trying to be more calculated with his moves. Like I commented earlier, Charles, he's a very calculated player. I mean, he's definitely matching his real life profession with this Uno universe today.
Here he comes. Looks for a triple. Charles Sandfer looking for the finish right here. Does he have it? No, but there's the big heat check to check.
He's got to Uno, but Hockey, he better have something. He only plays the Stingray 5.
That's nothing for Hockey, and that's nothing for Sandfer. That's going to give Hockey life.
He still has a chance. Charles is back at 2. Can Hockey reel him in? He's at the 3-card deficit.
Here comes Hockey. Plays the 6.
Oh.
That's exactly what Sandfer might have needed, though, Jay, on that 6. Let's see.
He may have gotten a top deck with that one, but he's back at Uno.
Here comes Hockey. Does he switch it? No. Sandfer, does he have 7 heaven? No.
Nope, neither 7 heaven or a yellow. Mellow yellow.
No mellow yellow. Keep it going.
And no 7.
Hockey the aggressive, though, in the blue. Big play.
They're both at 2. Charles still doesn't have anything for the blue, just like he doesn't have anything for the yellow, and neither does Hockey. Oh, man, going back into Draw City, it seems.
Great ISO play there from Hockey. Gotta respect it. Sandfer, though, is not going to take this one lying down. Needs a top deck desperately. Tie game at 3. Trace on trace. Here comes Sandfer taking his time. This is what he does, right, JT? Loads up, thinks a moment, thinks stop, and then fires again. Here we go. He'll go into red aggressive.
Yep, there's the red. We saw this earlier, and
that's what Sandfer needs. He could use this as an enabler. Hold the phone, JT. He's got to his own card.
Is Hockey able to switch to yellow or blue, perhaps, and freeze Charles up?
Does Hockey have anything here? Let's find out. Only thing it would save would be a +4. He's got a +2!
Man, take a look at this. And Hockey, if he can execute this play, he'll get to Uno.
Hockey looking for the possible bailout to 3-0. Does he have it? What is this?
Am I sensing what Is he going to do what I think he's going to do?
Is he going to leave it open? He's going to possibly leave it open.
Oh, I mean, he is at Uno. Is he going to be? Is he either going to draw? Yep. I thought that he was going to do that. I thought he was going to do that. Now, if Charles has a +2, that's going to be so costly.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's gamble and a half right there. He could have.
Or even a wild, too.
Yeah, he
like that'd be.
It's worth it, he says. Okay, this is what Sandfer. Yeah, Sandfer will close it off. So Hockey says it's worth it. He'll draw back. Sandfer now, he can come back at him. That could be a turning point in this series, Jay. If Sandfer wins this game, we're going to point back to that moment for sure.
Yeah, I would say that was more of a stalling maneuver on Hockey's part, just to push him back.
Now Sandfer goes for the blue. Does Hockey have a blue? He does.
Yeah, Hockey's a little bit more free on the blues this time around. It is his turn.
Here comes Sandfer. Hockey plays with blue. Here comes Sandfer looking to load back in. Risky maneuvers there from Hockey, trying with the double +2 door opener. Does it give Sandfer some life? He needs something. Sandfer loading up, taking his time. He's got to find something here, Jay. I mean, you got to say, even before that +2, he's been just more in the doldrums here. He hasn't been able to break out and find any sort of hints of momentum. He's had spurts of it, but not hints to where he can close the game.
No, not really. And it's definitely as far as luck goes. Like Hockey's gotten just a little bit more of this, but Hockey's been able to hold the lead a lot longer than Sandfer has. Now second game going on in a row. But I mean, I am. There's always that possibility. I mean, just with how much Sandfer drew, that a wild was going to come up. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Sandfer had that wild, and he goes into a quad. Fantastic stuff.
Not a finisher, though. Not a finisher. Here comes Hockey. That's a big moment. No finisher. Does Hockey respond? 6 huge. It's going to be 4 huge freshies, and you got to think now with Hockey, he can play this one a little more aggressive here. I was going to say back to blue. Is that a good move? Did Sandfer fade it off well? Did he fade it off well, Charles Sandfer? He fades it off. He gets it.
Oh, man.
The master's back with the fade. Sandfer, I got to ask you, man, that was the first time all series you finally got an edge. Was that double +2 the enabler?
It was, because that gave me the +4 and the 2 skips.
Wow.
I was the delay actually was I was debating, like, okay, power play to the red 8 or no.
Went for the gamble. So. Yeah, save it, right? I gotta ask you, man. Obviously, you're still not getting any +2s, right? You still have drawn a lot of cards compared to him, but you're still fighting with the switches. A lot more aggressive with the switches tonight. Is that because of the lack of +2s and the lack of ammo cards forces you a different? Almost you got to adapt to the bot what it's giving you, but also force your force your playing style to be a little bit more aggressive and maybe not play into it fully, but play into it a little bit to see what he's doing and play tit for tat, because that's basically what you did. You hoped for the blue and prayed, and it worked.
It's a little bit of playing tick for tack. I'd say it's definitely a lot of making sure to use what the bot's giving you. If you're not getting +2s, you kind of have to do your numbers, your color swaps strategic, and be on top of it to get the wins. So definitely a lot of doing what I'm able to do.
I'm going to say this much, Hockey. That was tough. I mean, you made the double bowl +2. Was that a case of you try to get the differential? You wanted to send it back. Hey, more cards. I got less cards. Force his hand a little bit. Because other than that, you really had that game on lock because you gave him more of the ammo. So why play the aggressive player? Was it a case of just trying to get the delta considering he didn't have much of the ammo all night? And your thoughts on just taking Sandfer to the limit right now, because you're taking him now to the limit here at his 200th career game, which I'll read off here in the ceremony. And we'll go to Jay. Jay, that's a momentum swing. Hockey had all the control. Sandfer gets one back on, ironically, the 6-6 combo, 6 minutes, 6 seconds, and uses that little +2 magic where he doesn't have any, but he gets a gift right there. Talk to me about capitalizing on others' mistakes. That's what Sandfer does well, and a lot of players do well in this league now.
Oh, yeah, so without a shadow of a doubt. Like, I mean, Sandfer, he found a way to work his way around. I mean, even though he never got to taste the lead that much this game, or even the last game, even, and Hockey does have his answer now. It looks like he could have won with his low card amount, so I had to do something to counter it, and I did almost win if I just used my power play. Yeah, I mean, that could be one factor, but, I mean, also that final, wild call, I mean, Hockey just happened to choose the wrong one, and that was the exact one that he needed. But, I mean, Hockey, I mean, even though he does take an L this one, I mean, he can still use the power play, in this next, couple of games if he has to. I mean, he only just has to win 2 more times. Sandfer, he has to win 3.
Well, we'll go over to my man Charles Sandfer as he listens to this first ever 200 plus star club ceremony. Here we go. Sandfer, congratulations on that 200 star club, man. First member to join. I'll get to the game right up in a little bit, but I want to read your career stats, my friend. 2 medals, right? 2 medals, medals and trophies, 2 silvers back in, of course, college theme and summer recharge back in T3 and 4 of 2023, losing to Varigold and Yepez respectively, both finalists in Super League, 3 Final Fours, 4 Elite Eights, 6 Sweet 16s. This is your 30th career series, 19 and 10. Your regular season record will now be updated to 114 and 85. Your career record now stands at 137 and 115. And, of course, your all-time regular season starts will be 200 when you get there. All-time as well will be 253. You're at around a 58.1 career win percentage, 57.65 last I checked. Your average starting seed is 12.27, and averaging finishing seed is 15, or finishing position is 15.50. Congratulations, man. You're the first guy in the club. I just want to know what this league has meant to you. You've obviously have risen through the ranks, of course, as a player and commission member, and now bracket master. We call you Sanford Lenardi for a reason. You're the man with the brackets, the man with the play on that, and of course Super League. We all know and love you for the list making and all that. You were one of the first pioneers of it. You're a trailblazer, my friend. What's this league meant to you and everybody around you, for sure? Floor's yours.
Honestly, I think I kind of said it when it was the 100 too. Realistically, it's been a great spot to just kind of have some fun, play something that, granted, I've been way more competitive at this than I thought I would ever be. Definitely a lot more emotions than I've ever thought I would have with it. And never really realized what there would have been to playing 1v1 until this league. So to say that I'm the first to get to 200, even though I've missed a tournament, I think says a lot. Here's to 200 more, honestly, and hopefully some finals runs here, because obviously T1 didn't go as well as I would have liked. So hoping to be able to get that 20th tonight and see what comes up the rest of this tournament.
All right, we'll go over to Hockey. I know you have no idea. You have no idea who Charles Sandfer maybe is, but just if you want to say any words to him, feel free. That's what we always do as a show of respect and honor. We'll go to JT. Jay, you've obviously had the privilege of playing Sandfer 4 times now. You've taken care of business against him 3, but more than that, what does he mean to you as a friend in this league? Because he's been around the block for forever. I've known him now for a solid 6 years. 2020, I think, was the first time I met him, and he's always been a pro.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Charles, I mean, I've known him for, many years. I mean, even going back to NR, I mean, the early days of that, around 2014 or 15. But yeah, what a great guy he is. Definitely, very smart. He's strategic, and I mean, definitely determined. And I just love how, just whatever he sets his mind to. I mean, whether it comes to this or NR, I mean, he definitely, is no slouch. He definitely shows, plenty of dedication and devotion into, making his craft as great as it can be. And with him, making 200 starts, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, not almost on the same tier of Richard Petty, making 200, getting 200 NASCAR wins. I mean, that'd be something if Stanford was able to get 200 Uno wins, but even just making 200, appearances in Uno, it'll definitely be a milestone that not too many people are going to be able to get to reach. I mean, depending on how long they stick around. So yeah, attaboy Sanford, you get a pat on the back from me.
We'll see what Hockey says here. If anyone else wants to feel free to pile in and say any words for Sandfer, Brad, or anybody. Feel free to text it out, and we'll wait for Hockey to respond. Yeah, Sandfer means a lot to us, guy. I mean, he's been around the block so many times. He's won over 100 career games, right? There's not a lot of guys that can say they've been here 200 starts, and Sandfer's the first. Obviously, you and me, JT, are next in line, right? You and me were both OGs. This guy took us to the woodshed, right? Took us to the woodshed. We were here at the beginning, but then again, the eras were so much different, right? As the times had changed, Sandfer stood the test of time. He's had to play a lot of folks, and when you play now 30 career series, that's a lot of folks in the regular season for sure. Just gotta say, congrats, classic hockey.
Oh, yep. Still got a little sting at the end of his message there.
That's what it's all about here, right? But I will see what Lita says. Like I said, he means a lot to us. Great guy, ultimate professional. You can't say anymore. That's what you want in these league. An ultimate pro that always gets the job done and never surrenders, for sure. Didn't know super well, but you've always worked for reckoning with. Kudos, man. Yeah, Sandfer's always been. It's been really good, man. It's been really good. I really think that's what it's all about in this league. It's been about just inviting people and having that real good taste for people in terms of Sandfer. That's what he does. But that's the business at hand. All the party's over. It's time to get back to reality. In hockey, it's kind of crazy. You get Sandfer's 200th call in his regular season, but that's how the business works. Go ahead and. Yep, that's how it works. All right, no 6 or 11. What's it going to be for Sandfer's 200? What do we got, buddy? We'll go 8. Here we go. Crazy 8s. We're in. Let's start us up, and it's only fitting we have a Caesar +2. One of Sandfer's great games in his career back in T4.
Yeah, we'll see if hockey can be aggressive with it and lay a +2 on him and go +6. But no, he'll just go into a skip double.
Indeed. Yeah, that's what it's all about, Jay. It's just he's been able to push the pace all night. He's been able to just push the pace, right? Use what he's been known for. That speed kills even on the breaks, where Sandfer just hasn't been able to be smooth on it until that last game where he overbroke and it gave Sandfer a little invitation.
Yeah, almost kind of like Alex Bowman hitting the wall at Homestead and Larson sweeping by him at the end.
Well, there's a switch over. There's the switch to that ice cold. They're going to both run it. There we go. Yeah, into bad Brad's Blue Deuce.
Yep, going down 1.
Sandfer now looking for a little bit of momentum on this blue. Needs to find something here. Made the decisive early break. Here he comes. Looking to get this into a Game 5, and then anything goes when we get to a best of 3. Hockey looking for that 3-1.
Yeah. Yep, you could just see right there. I mean, every time Charles makes a turn, I mean, hockey immediately, jumps on it. So, I mean, hockey definitely is, trying to make this pace, a little bit more rapid.
Well, speaking of rapidity right here, as I like to say as a word, draw cities, we haven't seen much of it, JT. Thoughts on this early? Haven't seen much, but we're still got him, which is nice.
Yep, as we've only dabbed into the greens and the blues, red and yellow. Still yet to say hello in this round. And now they're definitely at least over 5 cards. They're pretty much back to where they started at the Crazy 8 start. But now Sandfer's able to break with the Ghost.
Into the Ghost, looking really clean. We'll see how this one goes. Red 9. We'll go to Allen. Now here comes Sandfer into Zach. Tough loss for Zach today, but playing really well, all things considered, at the start of 2025. Double Allen for hockey, and now that's where Sandfer usually pounces, Jay. He's locked in, he's deafened, he starts to see these number trains go a little bit off kilter. This is where he pounces.
Matter of fact, that's the second straight Allen Red 9 that hockey had in his hand.
That's why I was saying it might be the end of the road, and that's what Sandfer needs. And now the momentum is shifted. Charles Sandfer is back in control. Can he finish the deal? He'll go one up.
Yep, we're staying with these higher numbers. Hockey has to draw again. This could be good news. Sandfer, he now has a 4-card lead. He pretty much has double the lead that hockey has number of cards.
Well, This is going to be very interesting the way that this is going.
Here comes Charles Sandfer looking for that 200th start into a W. Can he get it done right here?
It's a W.
It's a W. He's going to call it early. Reverse skip,
Whoa.
meta. Boom. Toasty, Yoshi Grim. There it is. Sandfer gets the 200th, the special, and he still has no plus twos. Shades of lane with the plus fours right now. Sandfer, it really is shades of lane, right? Just no plus fours, no plus twos. Talk to me about the patience game, man. That was an extremely bold call. If you decide to make the break in the blue and force that draw city, did you just have a sense that you had the back end red and yellow to give you that draw city feel to where you knew you had it similar to how hockey won game one, where you had the advantage on ammo?
Honestly, no. It was just kind of luck of the draw. My first draw in the blue was the yellow reverse connector. So it was just kind of from there, I got lucky that I just only drew red and yellow. So I was just kind of waiting to be able to get a switch of some kind, and thankfully it happened. So I'm like, that's more kind of luck than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, you got. We've been on this mid-tier, Sandfer. Your thoughts on playing this mid-tier strap? Because obviously you didn't pick the cards, but are you just feeling a little bit more comfortable? You've been here before, and do you think that favors you a little bit, considering you've been here so many times, down 2-0 and in this mid-tier? It gives you a little advantage?
Honestly, I like the mid-tier package. It's what everyone's used to playing. So I know when I'm facing a guy who's going to use that mid-tier, I can just kind of avoid it and let them play into it a little bit. And just luckily there, I got the 2 wins. Now it's just got a matter of figuring out something that can work for my own homestand, because obviously I can't win only on his home starts and still win the series.
We got to go to hockey here. Hockey, obviously, not the result you were looking for. A little bit aggressive. You kind of got what you wanted off the start. You went aggressive on the greens, but you ran out of fuel. Was that a case of you wanted to push the pace and was forcing maybe a switch into a red? Did you have something lingering in? It's not red, yellow. Excuse me. You didn't play a yellow, so did you force that switch to hope to get the yellow at the end, and it was a similar finish, or were you just straight out of ammo cards and unfortunately had a vibe into the number efficiency where you just may have got caught off guard? And I'll go to JT. Jay, that's what Sandfer needed. That game 3 run, that momentum shifted on this double plus 2 into a draw, and then all of a sudden he's starting to shift into playing it a little bit more, the adapting to the bot without the plus 2s. I mean, he was getting pretty destroyed earlier, 2020 on cards played. Now he's got more cards played than drawn. Talk to me how Sandfer's flipped the script and what hockey's got to do as we continue to go 4-0 for the road team.
Yeah, see, the thing with Sandfer is, you can never, count him out. I mean, even if he's got a bit of a slower start, and now that he's starting to turn up the heat, the more game time we have, and with each game that passes, I mean, just because somebody has, they don't get out of the gate as quick, don't mean that they're saving their best plays for later down the road. So yeah, excellent job by Sandfer in doing that, as we're still overall keeping a quick pace with this series.
You can go read that, Jay. Go ahead.
Sure thing. Yeah, hockey's answer. Yeah, I was playing cards, waiting it to change to yellow, because from there I had 2 possible combos I could have done. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get where hockey was coming from, but I mean, then again, Sandfer, he had his own plan up his sleeve, and he was able to just jump on it first before hockey could. But still not to worry. I mean, he's got his power play. Both guys have their power plays. We go into Game 5 with a tied series, as Sandfer's going to get back onto the homestand with this.
Yeah, before we get to that, Jay, your thoughts on the power play. Obviously, you've had some hell of a time with it, to say the least, with that damn power play over the years. Your thoughts on Sandfer? He's one of the best, and hockey was pretty good in March, too, of finding that rhythm. How do you think that power play comes into play now, knowing it's the best of 3 from here on out?
Yep, I can recall a couple times with this series where, I mean, even though it was a couple, games early with this, I mean, hockey, he had the runs that he had to end games 1 and 2. Sandfer could have defensively used a power play to stop him, but didn't. And then with these past 2 games, with Sandfer getting the win, he had his runs planned out, and as he was playing them out, I mean, hockey might have had the thought to use a power play defensively, but didn't quite pull it out as well. But Yeah, it seems like people using the power play offensively is looking like to be the way to do it. But there is that possibility. Like they can't forget to keep that in the back of their heads too. That the power play can be used for both purposes.
Indeed, indeed. We'll see how this goes. We'll go over to Game 5 now. Sandfer for Game 201 in the regular season and 254 in his career. Let's do it. Sandfer, back to you, buddy. Let's see what happens here. No 7 and 8. You're free to go everywhere else. What do we got?
Yeah, it feels like on my homestands, he's been getting more action cards than me. So let's go for 13.
We're going to go double it up there from that 6 early almost. We're starting to roll here, JT. We're starting to roll. Going upper tier now. First upper tier game. We've been in the mid tier and that borderline mid on 11. Now we're going upper. OG full. Gangster 1. Congrats to the Gangster earlier today on a big 4-2 win over Goldie. Now, let's see what will happen. Charles Sandfer starts the game. You know what that means. It's about controlling the pace, right? Controlling the throttle pedal. That's what Sandfer's known for. Let's see if that continues.
Yep, and his one win in Game 3, it ended up being over a 6-minute. It was a 6:06 game, and that's kind of the nature that I expected Sandfer to have going into this. To calculate all his plays and just not really rush into it. I mean that's a good trait for players to have if you were to have it. He's going to send him back a couple. He's going to go up 3 on him. Charles
Sandfer makes a huge move here. Jay, it's very rare to see Sandfer do that. He's actually up 4 now, I believe, because it's a +2. So that's up 4. Well, let's see. And Hockey responds back. We're done with the +2s, just like that. Out in blue. And he's got the lead.
Geez Louise. I was going to act as surprised as you were, but I just had to yawn as that play was happening, so I kind of missed that chance to get that call on my end.
Man.
But
You're good, buddy. Snooze or lose, okay. Into a red 5 and a DJ. You'll get us back on the interim. We'll go another Allen play. Hockey seems to be popular on the 9s and the 5s tonight. 5s and 9s are wild for him. Now, see what Sandfer can do. +2 in the back pocket. Both have played it. Hockey had the skip meta, though. Can Sandfer continue the streak here of the momentum of 2 games in a row, back-to-back, or does Hockey break it? Right? Does he break it here in terms of momentum, but it'd still be a 5-0 on the road if Hockey wins? Sandfer looking to break the home streak and get a win. We'll see. Something's got to give here. Red 1 now from Hockey in the Ghost for background.
Yep, going from blue to red. Haven't touched any colors yet. It's now Hockey's turn. He is at the deficit right now. Yep. I stand corrected. I checked the table. They are tied again. So Hockey, did that smart triple play, and there's another triple play that he's got. He goes back to the lead.
Yeah, we talked about this, JT. He wants to push the pace and be a demon on those breaks, and that's what Hockey is. He plays quick. He plays fast, and sometimes he can overstep it. But that's what Hockey does. He lives and dies by the quick sword. And now we'll see if he has any green, or is that the end of all greens on the rainbow? We'll find out. Sandfer goes into Chomik. Here comes Hockey loading up. Might have been onto something, Jay. He'll go to blue.
Yep. Another switch. We're back to blue. What we started out this game with. He's working up another play as we speak.
There it is,
anything for Sandfer to answer.
How about that? Trips 8. We've seen that one. It's back to blue from Hockey with the KT.
Hockey's just feeling them blues. You can just tell.
How does Sandfer respond? But that's what Sandfer wanted, maybe, in the sense that, okay, you're going to fade this off. Let him burn some of that ammo. Use some of that ammo reserve in the back pocket.
Oh, no, Ashley.
There's the Ashley Red Wild. Yep, there's the Ash Red Wild. Does Hockey have an answer? Sandfer, great play. It's a wild flush, but the question is, did Hockey save some reserve? He does!
Whoa!
But he's burning some of that ammo reserve. I talked about that. That's a huge move there, Jay, because that could have been game earlier if Sandfer doesn't make that move. He's forcing Hockey to use it.
Yeah, he's got an 8-card lead, though. We saw him push Sandfer back in Game 3, but Charles was able to work it, down and make that comeback.
Great ping pong effect. Sandfer plays it cool. Here comes Hockey for check. He's got it.
He's got the Uno check. Charles, with that +4 drawing cards, you think he might have something to maybe do it? No, he just plays
not.
a 5.
Hockey for the 3-2. Does he have yellows? No. Not, you know what? You bank on 4 straight yellows and you don't have it. That's great from Sandfer. Here comes hockey. Is there a top deck? No, and now Sandfer can start winding down these numbers. That's a big momentum switch. Big switch there for Sandfer. He'll go into red. Here comes hockey. Nothing. And now this is what he needs, Jay.
Oh.
The legend.
My gosh. Game 3 is repeating itself. It seems to be. Hockey was able to get to that Uno check, but after pushing Sandfer back, but Sanfer's on the swing again, that's going to be another bad sting into hockey.
Yeah, it's hockey starting to get some of a taste of his own medicine, but you got to say here, Jay, that wild flush saved Charles Sandfer for sure. That saved him because it was clearly hockey had the momentum going. Another veteran move, hockey in a yellow. Does Sandfer have something here? One of the best at feeling out the game. You know it's power play. I was thinking in my head.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Take the 3-2, and let's see where it goes from there. Charles Sandfer looking for a 3-2. Number efficiency potentially. He'll go into blue for the win. He'll keep it blue.
Look at that.
Gets the job done, and he's one away.
Look at that.
Charles Sandfer, that's old school instincts, my friend. Talk to me about that wild flush, because if you don't do that, hockey's got a clear path to potentially finish you off.
Honestly, I was trying to save the wild for right time of like maybe even just bailing myself out. And truthfully, it also allowed me to know that when he got down to Uno, all I had to do was just avoid whatever number he had in blue.
Right. You talked to me about the back and forth here, man. A lot of back and forth, a lot of technicality in terms of the light switch. We've seen a lot of triple eights, right? You throw wild, he throws a little bit more. But once again, the common denominator is, as I said, you haven't been able to use the usual Charles Sandfer pace. You've had to almost play into it because of the lack of... you got some +2s. Do you think with that lack of deficit still on the +2s and wild play, you still only had 3 compared to his 8 combined, do you think playing a little quicker, almost playing into that pace, isn't the worst thing, considering you had the advantage, maybe not on the power play, but in terms of the scoreboard, where it gives you a little more freedom?
I think what it does is, we've seen it with Ghost. When someone plays quick, they're more likely to make some mistakes a little bit. And realistically, I think that's what we saw there a little bit, is hockey basically kind of made a mistake of using the wild a little bit too soon, kind of played his hand. And I'm probably making a mistake just by saying it, because now he can adjust, but it's one of those things where we're both constantly adjusting no matter what. So I think he's a good player. He's shown it. Just a matter of now figuring out what is he going to do with Game 6 and how can I try and make sure avoiding Game 7.
All right, we'll go over to hockey. No pressure, you said, right? Not really worried about it. Despite losing 3 in a row and a power play advantage, 1-0 in that department, you're down to score. However, you've been here before. We just asked some of your D2 matches in the past. You've been here before. You may have not been here before in this league, as you crushed DJ and were just blown out of the water by Yepez. But talk to me about how you've been able to adjust to some of that reverse skip meta, because that's the one thing you had the advantage on. And did you have a clear path, but ultimately you think that wild flush by Sandfer was the move to prevent it? Because you did pretty well other than that one flush. And I got to say, Jay, it's a tortoise for his hair, right? Sandfer has not had it, man, all night in terms of maybe every action card. But it's that old EXP, that wily vet, right, the wily legend, that comes out of those shadows and says, hey, you know what? If I don't have it, maybe you got to adjust to the bot. And that's what's been the biggest thing in these first opening rounds. We've seen 2 throughout the year here now. Adjust to the bot. Maybe you have to adapt your playing style. What you know, it may work in the old days, but now you have to figure it out as all these new styles conglomerate into one. Talk to me through the adjusting and adapting period of what we're seeing here through 5 games now as we continue to have a good series regardless.
Of course. Yeah, Charles, he's been doing a great job. I mean, being able to adapt that quickly to these wild +4 setbacks that hockey's been dealing on him. But now, I mean, it's twice now that we've seen hockey do that, and both times Sandfer has been able to find a way to reel in that lead and then eventually overtake him for the win as Sandfer used that power play to get that one in Game 5. As now Hockey's got his answer here. Well, I was a bit too wild with the wilds. And when I went wild blue, it showed I had a blue, so now I'm probably going to be a bit more careful with what I play and when I play them. Yes, and I was just going to bring up that point that, Hockey's tried that strategy twice on Charles now. Charles has found a way to come back both times, so it's likely a sign that Hockey may have to be careful about doing that from now on, and for him to maybe consider trying to do something else with drawing Sandfer back. Like maybe if he's able to have a string of +2s, maybe use those instead of wild, so that way he can, save it for when he needs to. I mean, at least the one on the flip side that Hockey, he still has that power play to use, and Sandfer, he's burned his now.
Well, Sandfer has to do this old bare-knuckle style. He's used to this, though, before. Hockey looking to force a Game 7, was up 2-0, but we'll get the call here. Massive moment. Hockey, no 6, no 11, free board. What we got? Big moment here. We'll go 10. Here we go. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Hands and feet. He's going all in. Here comes Hockey. We'll start it off with the old Acosta 9. You know that card, JT, the classic.
Yep. Oh, yes. Yeah, this mid-region card start, it's where I'm most comfortable starting it, so Absolutely. This is what Hockey's going to experiment with now.
Sandfer into his own card from Steven. Aggressive on the switching. Does Hockey have anything in return? We'll find out. He's got to play it cool. First time in a long time for the first couple turns here, Jay. Hockey playing it cool. No reverse, skip meta to light the candle. Maybe he's learned his lesson. Here comes Sandfer, trying to do his bare-knuckle showdown. One up this time. Charles Sandfer looking for that number 20 in his magical career. It's been a magical career as we have said in the past, as we go back in the two-color yellow. The monkey. But tonight would be a special one.
Is what Hockey taking that early lead again, which he has had in past games. But I mean, just because you hold the lead for a while doesn't mean you can always come out at the end with the win. Charles has to draw, but Hockey goes into green. Maybe that could break Charles. I can give him a break.
Well, prison break here for Sandfer potentially, but he's been doubled up on the score, but still time. It's the nice thing about Sandfer, man. He's never out of it, and Hockey deciding to make the break. Sanford's got the data. Is that going to be a real break, or is that just a fake break? Here we go. Here comes Hockey.
Able to play that.
Oh, that's a massive move, Jay. That's a massive move. Huge.
Oh yeah, it sure looks to be.
Yeah, that's a huge one, man. That's sending it right there. Going forward broke right there into that KT Wild. Will Sandfer have a Wild to just stall him out?
He's got 6 cards up on Hockey. I mean, yeah, you could always, have that possibility. You could, psych him and go a totally different direction, and that'll really mess him up. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, my goodness.
Triple play. Clay, Caesar, Yepez, and that's going to send Hockey back. All that momentum he gained is lost. Sandfer back in control. Into Chomik. Sandfer up 2 possessions, looking for 3. Sandfer more ammo control. Could have dumped some more, but plays it cool, and that's huge, Jay. He's setting Hockey back now.
Wow, that's the 3rd +2 that Charles has had this single game, and we never even saw him with any in the first 4.
Yeah, he's flipped the script, and now all of a sudden you have to wonder if you're Hockey. You go back into blue now, tries ISO. That Game 3 is starting to loom large. Nothing for Sandfer, but you got to accept
So far it worked.
You got to accept that for Sandfer. Good play, right, a little end around. Try to get something on number efficiency. It's the best move for Sandfer. Now Hockey
can try and run with this.
Yep, Hockey with the momentum now, Jay. Big moment. He's got the lead. There's the number of fish in the red. Does Hockey have red in the back kilter, though? Looks to fire in. Taking his time. He's got the triples, Jay. That's huge.
Yeah, that's another one. A triple play that Hockey has as he goes to dose.
But the question is Sandfer going to be content to test them? Because, let's face it, We've seen Hockey do this, and he's run out before. Let's see what Sandfer does.
And Hockey hasn't used his power play either, but Charles is able to make a double.
Smart move there from Sandfer. Hockey, no power play, and that's going to give Sandfer a clue he may not have it. We'll go red. And the question becomes, what will Sandfer do? He'll play it cool. Is it a 5, or does Hockey fade it? No, and that's a big clue. Here comes Sandfer. He'll go for the draw city. He likes it.
Yep, both players looks like they're going to draw back now. Like, I had a feeling when Hockey was at 2 and he didn't use his power play, I had a gut feeling that he didn't have anything to follow it up with, and it looks like that came true.
Here comes Hockey, though. Top deck city has happened before. He's going to go for a top deck, and it's in the Sandfer's car, but that may not do much, Jay. Unless it's a 6.
Yeah, it's still a good double. I mean, Charles, he has been drawing back. There's his top deck right there.
7, gray move. Just you got to cover that off. Good move. Gray move. Here comes Hockey here. Let's see what he'll have. Maybe another top deck. Okay, another 2. So now Sandfer, does he have anything to cover that off? No.
No, he doesn't.
Is it a 2? No.
No, it's not again.
No buzzer beater. Sandfer content. Yep.
It's for Hockey, it's so close, but at the same time, he's still so far away.
And he doesn't get a top deck here, and that's where Sandfer can breathe a little easy right here if he wants. He will. Sandfer breathes a little easier, and that's big for... That's big right there, Jay. That's big, because now Hockey can... Or now Sandfer can ease off a little bit, right? A little bit of the storm has been weathered, and now he can play his game the way he wants to play his game. We just control that pace. Sandfer drawing back, Hockey drawing back, and they're controlling back and forth. No one giving an inch here in this Game 6. Hockey has to win to keep the Game 7, or else Sandfer will close it out in 6 and win 4 straight and get that 20th.
Now there's a break as Charles goes half off to a ghost.
Little wink. Hockey, little Clint play. We'll draw back.
It's been a while since
wow. Yeah, it maybe Hockey might not have anything at all in the red category, or even just a number efficiency.
Well, we've been in draw city. That's just more telling, Jay. That Uno play draw. There it is. He's going to break it. He could have had something right there, and he may have misplayed it. We'll have to ask that, but now he's made the break. Sandfer will start to readjust and recalibrate if he has anything. 3 possession lead. This is not going to scare Charles Sandfer right here. Hockey, we'll see what he can do. Let's see what he's got. He goes for a plus, too. That's going to send Sandfer with some more. Yeah, I like that play there. I actually like that play there, Sandfer, from JT from Hockey. You gotta send Sandfer back and see where he can evaluate from the back end. Let's see.
Yep, he has tried it, in 2 of these games. I mean, just to push it back as far as he can. But it's just that he hasn't gotten lucky as of late to find the cards to, seal the deal, to end it. And that's just where he's finding trouble in, I'm seeing.
Well, we'll see what Sandfer is looking at here. Goes to yellow 8. Hockey now. Another +2. Wow. So he used a little bit of that Sandfer control, Jay.
Well, there he goes. He's now got a 9-card lead.
Charles Sandfer will have to figure this one out. Hockey, he's burning through that reserve, though. I mean, that's the thing. Let's see what it'll be. And you gotta think here, Jay. Now Sandfer can take his time, right? But my question really becomes: is when you burn through this reserve tank, do you think that's a clue into the atmosphere, right? Because you start burning through it, Sandfer's a vet. He's gonna know, okay, I can use that card history. You might be burning too much. Let's see. We're gonna test it right now. Let's see if he's got any more. Nope. See, there it is.
Yeah. I mean, to answer your question, it just may be. I mean, because now that we've seen a few times Hockey just not being able to find anything to close it up and put the game away. Yeah, so it's might be an answer that, the fact that he is burning through his action cards this quick, they might just be stalling tactics.
Never mind. Here he comes, Sandfer.
Hockey.
He's going for the break in the blue. Here comes Hockey.
Yep, not too often you get to see these switches off to zero
Another
sugar, as
play.
hockey does have a double.
Yeah, another double play. Hockey just playing it quick. I mean, Sandfer, you gotta think here, Jay. He's made these breaks before, right? And I don't think he would make this break here if he didn't have something in the reserves. But hockey's burned through his reserves, so this is an interesting dilemma.
Oh, man.
Just gonna say that's gonna send Sandfer one possession in. That's what he needed. That's what he needed, Jay. He needed that draw, and there it is.
Yeah, ironically enough, it was hockey that was stalling Charles on the Blues, and now it's the role reversal. Hockey seems like he's not able to find any magic on these blue cards.
Hockey will play. Sandfer will play a blue. Hockey's got some type, but it's only a top deck. Here comes Sandfer rolling again. Hockey still, of course, that one power play. Sandfer going to draw back. What will Hockey do here?
He could tie it up right here if he's got something.
Has to be off the 7. There it is.
There's the
7.
switch.
Yep.
There's dark. There's good old dark for you.
That's Grim, Jay. That's
Grim. Whoops.
Dark is the
Gotcha.
The old green +4. Yep.
Gotcha.
You're good, man. We'll see what happens here, though. It's gonna be interesting because
you said dark's the green +4.
Yeah. Oh boy, we timed that one up perfectly. Did we time that one up perfectly? Here comes Sam. There it is. Thanks, Jay. Good assist.
That's a way to summon him, I guess.
It's a way to do a little flex on JT with the wrong call. There you go. All right. Sandfer with a little table talk. Hockey can only roll. What will Sandfer do now here? He started getting to that red zone here, Jay. He hasn't been here all night. The first 2 games looked like he was hopeless. And then all of a sudden, a gift from the gods on a double +2 door opener has shifted the momentum. Here comes Sandfer, plays it cool. Does Hockey have anything in reserve? No. Sandfer looking good. Does he have it right here? Or is it to check?
Oh no, Hockey, like it's like he's losing his, and he can't use the power play right now because Charles is an Uno, so if he doesn't have anything, it could be Sandfer's win. We'll have to see what he does.
Does Sandfer figure it out and finish it off? Does Hockey have anything left in the reserves? Not much left on the table for him. He's going to think this one through. Crucial moment. You got to think here, Jay. There's not much left for him to try. +4s have been buried, right? We saw earlier a lot of the +2s have been buried. I know there's some left, but if he's thinking it's got to be a number player, some type of regular wild to have any shot.
Yeah, like these are desperate times for Hockey, so he's got to, back off the gas and, just really analyze things now. It's rare that we see him do this. Normally he's just pushing the pace, keep going and going and going, but now taking a moment to breathe, kind of adapting Sandfer's strategy.
He's going to risk it. It's got to be a wild or something. It's got to be a regular wild. He's going to go pretty yellow. Is that game? Did Sandfer fade it for the win? Is that 20 for Sandfer with the fade?
Hello, round of 32. Oh my goodness.
He's got the
fade. Charles Sandfer gets number efficiency. It wouldn't have mattered. That's it. Hockey's gone. And Sandfer gets 20 at the redemption from the Camaro series from last tournament.
The entire time there, I was just saying, oh my gosh, please either draw a color swap.
Got it.
That was the entire thing I was thinking.
I mean, Sandfer, you had to fend off a lot there, man. That was not. Let's face it. This series, it opened up for you when you had that double +2. That game 3, it opened up for you. You didn't have much going for you. You finally got 5 +2s. We're at a single point. You're at 0. Talk to me through about just how you're able to navigate more of the color switches there, because early color switches into that draw city, that red draw city, stalled out Hockey, and he couldn't find any rhythm, and he started to lose a little composure too.
Honestly, I think this one just came down to perseverance, realistically. Thankfully, the bot kind of turned its luck around a little bit for me in Game 3. Some of the plays, realistically, just end up, the experience just knowing that ended up being kind of a tell of where the likelihood was of what the play was or what he didn't have. And just kind of using that to my advantage, but Oh, I'm so glad I got that. I'm so glad to be on to the Renault 32.
It's been a
No
while,
more of the
man.
pressure on that stuff. Now it's just back to the at least.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time you were in a second round had to be. I want to say, was it T5? I think it was T5. Yeah, it's been a while.
Five.
Yeah. I guess I'll go to hockey before we get to you with some more questions. Hockey. Lesson learned here tonight. You think? You had a really good game going. The first two games, we were thinking, wow, this is not what we had expected. You were playing lights out, great Uno, and then let's face it, that double +2 into a draw. I understood the move, but it changed the whole course of momentum. Did you learn maybe about the momentum aspect of the game that you got to take into maybe tournament 3 here? Because you played pretty well for the first, I'd say, half of this series, the first 50%, but then you just started to lose a little steam at the end. Is that a case of just building your endurance tolerance for future series to get further? I'll go Jay here first. Jay, what a series, and that just shows you the fight of a legend in Sandfer. He was down, but never out all night. You talked about that throttle control. He figures it out and gets a big Game 6 winner to close out hockey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I mean, the first couple of games. I mean, we thought. I mean, hockey. I mean, I do respect the way that hockey had the first couple of games on there, and we thought. I mean, he came back from dire situations. Then Sandfer, he found that momentum in Game 3 and just kept on carrying it on. And unfortunately, with hockey not really having much in Game 6, I mean, Charles, he was able to shoot it past him through the 5-hole into the net and onto the next round, and he's going to be left out to dry. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, there's yeah.
That was slick, man. That was slick. Sandfer, I mean, I know you're not the first guy to do it. You arguably should have been I was the first guy to get 20 and all that, but you are the first guy to get that 200 starts, obviously making now start 202. But now all the accolades are done. Now you can start focusing on your next match, which you've had some problems in the past. We get a certain someone in Superior, but Steven would be an interesting case. What do you look forward to in your next match, especially if it is Superior, and how you will play this one? Because those were some extra long games, best of 11s and Super League games versus a best of 7. Does that favor you a little bit, where you feel you have a little bit more of a window compared to a best of 11 where you can start running with that generator of his?
I think if it ends up being Superior, the part I'm looking forward to is the fact that it's going to be a best of 7, so it's not going to be a 3-hour stream.
Yeah.
That's honestly probably where I'm looking at on that one.
Yeah, we can only hope, right?
I guess the interesting part.
Well, he doesn't want that. He doesn't want
that. for Steven, it's gonna be an interesting thing to see, I guess, because I didn't get to play him in Super League, so I don't know exactly what to expect entirely there. Hard to say which one I'm actually rooting for, because I guess technically Tapir would have the better resume early on if I'm trying to look at it that way. So at this point, it's just you're still kind of looking at just playing who's in front of you, not worrying about what that means for a resume. But it would be interesting to get Tapir for the second time in regular season, at least. I will say that.
I appreciate that. We'll go into the pod. As Sandfer gets to 20, lights the candle, and we'll get that updated. But Charles Sandfer moves on. It'll either be Tapir or Steven he'll play. Sandfer, if it is Steven, he'll get it home. If not, Tapir will get the home team. It'll be a 3-6. Coming up in this pod will be Alan Leah Tuesday at 11:30, and then Cap and Gone the day after, 13 hours after that, into the first stream game for Cap as the defending tournament winner of T2 of the Ocean 4, but this time we're in the Garage 4. What an absolute classic day. We'll go into the schedule. One more game awaits, and it's going to be, ironically, another game. You can say it with me, Dame, JT. Another game, another milestone. It's going to be Myth, LaPlante Myth, Game 1, 100. We'll start the ceremony nice and early, get us wrapped up and ready to roll. But for tonight, it was all about one man, the experienced man, Mr. Experience. Charles Sandfer gets it done. The Sandman, that hourglass still got plenty of sand left in the old tank, gets the job done, gets the win, and now we'll face a massive test come with Superior Steven in round 2 in the Tire 32. But he'll have to figure that out a little bit later. For JT and myself, it's been a good night. Thank you guys for coming out. We got one more stream game. Been a pleasure. Thank you to the fans. Thanks to Nam for reffing. We'll see you a little bit later with Myth LaPlante. That's going to be a classic coming up in about a half hour. Good night for me for now. Thank you to JT who helped us out. We'll see you in about a half hour, folks. Take care. This has been a presentation of MRE Uno Division 1.